All right, whenever you guys are ready.
Alright. Hi, my name is Maddie Connors, and I'm here with Kiana Getzi, Ashley Prell, and Tommy Cullo to represent our company, PowerPod. So when we were first coming up with this idea for our company, we realized that there was a huge issue with people finding the time and balancing their schedules for their work life, their home life, their social life. And one of the ways we combat these problems in modern days is with our phones, to stay in contact with all the people we need to be in contact with. But what happens when technology fails? Well, let me give you all a little story. A couple years back, my aunt and uncle were expecting their first child, and of course my uncle was still working while my aunt was at home. And one day he had a client meeting. So it was about an hour into this client meeting when his phone died. And of course he didn't have the time to go sit by an outlet and wait for his phone to charge, so he just let it be dead. And as it happens, my aunt went into labor. So I remember how chaotic
Timing is everything.
It was so chaotic. We were trying to get a hold of him. No one could. It wasn't until an hour later that he got back to the office that my family was finally able to contact him, and he took the train all the way back to Barrington to go to Good Shepherd to see his son be born. Now, not all of you can hopefully relate to that story, but at one point in time you either were on a flight, you catch the train, or maybe it was just a night out in the city, and your phone has died, and you didn't have the time to go sit out by an outlet and wait for it to charge. Now, we have created the solution to this problem, and here it is, PowerPod.
Your phone always dead? Forget your charger? No outlets around you. The PowerPod is here. A one-time use disposable phone charger. Lightweight, no more annoying wires or cables. Pocket-sized, you don't even know it's there. Just plug in, charge, and dispose. Always be prepared and never have a dead smartphone again with PowerPod.
Alright, now what I want you to take from this video is three things. One, that it is pre-charged. Secondly, that it's cordless, which makes it convenient. And lastly, it's disposable. And these three unique factors make our product on-the-spot charging when you need it most. So once we'd come up with the idea, we had to decipher what our customer segment would be. And this was a really hard process for us because we realized that our product could be beneficial to a lot of different groups considering so many people have smartphones. But we decided between business people and teenagers. So when we tested teenagers, out of the 456 responses we received, 73.5% of people said that they would buy our product. However, the responses that we did receive from business people, which we had a hard time gathering, a lot of responses were very positive, and secondly, and even more importantly, is they seemed like they would be repeated customers. So one quote is, "This is a scenario I constantly find myself in, which my cell phone loses its battery on a call. In fact, it just happened to me this morning on the train to work," and this was Tom Kosh from Citizens of Conservation. So now I'd like to hand it over to Kiana.
Hi, my name is Kiana Getzi, and now the market for our product has a tremendous amount of potential. For a total addressable market, we have calculated an estimated $210.7 million in revenue. And now we came about that number by taking the total number of high schoolers within the U.S. because that's our main customer segment, and then funneling that number down with a series of constraints such as number of high schoolers with a smartphone, number of high schoolers with an iPhone, and so on. So for our serviceable addressable market, we took the number of high schoolers here locally in Cook County, and we ran the same constraints we used to find our total market to find our serviceable market, so that's $1.3 million in revenue. And with the results from our serviceable market, we were able to calculate that our market share percentage was to be precisely 0.93%, and our market share revenue at about $12,500. And we were able to do that based on the reasonable estimation of selling 300 units within our first year production. In addition, we have a multitude of direct competitors, such as Rapid Juice, PowerTab, PowerDrop, and so on. We actually had the opportunity to try out one of our competitors' products, and after testing it out, we realized that our competitor's product was unreliable, it was cheap, and it was just not aesthetically pleasing whatsoever. And we say it's unreliable because the charging connector actually was manufactured poorly. It didn't have a strong connection with our iPhone or with our smartphone. And in addition, it just charged extremely slow for its size. And also, people always compare a product to the iconic portable charger, but not many people realize that the portable charger and our product are actually very different. Our product charges on the spot when you need it due to the fact that it's pre-charged. And you take our product and you plug it right into your smartphone, maximizing your smartphone's low-profile aesthetic, unlike portable chargers which have cords, which get in the way of your busy everyday lifestyle. So, with PowerPod, for only a few dollars, you can save yourself from missing priceless opportunities. So here's Ashley Prell with more.
So as Keanu mentioned, we do have a couple competitors, but one way we plan to differentiate ourselves is with our marketing. When we asked our customers if they had ever heard of our competitors, a lot of them had said no. And that's because their lack of marketing. So our main two marketing platforms we are going to use is Facebook and Instagram, and we think these are the best because our product is a technology-based product, and so people who will be using our product most likely will have a social media account. We plan to use Facebook to reach business people, and then Instagram to reach teenagers because those are the two main platforms those groups tend to use. Then when it finally becomes time to get our product out to our customers, we are going to use direct channels, and we think this is the most beneficial because we can control price and profit. Our two main direct channels are our website and our booth. Our main one will be our website, but we do know when we go to events, we are going to have to use a booth because one point of our UBP is being in the spot where people need it the most, and we'll be really able to hit that point with booths at the events. So our main unit is going to be a pack of 3, which will sell on our website for $13.99, but we do know when we go to events, people will most likely not be looking for a pack of 3 at that time. So we will sell an individual unit for $4.99. We're hoping with this individual unit, though, that they will then go to our website and buy the pack of 3. And we're starting with $13.99 for our pack of 3 as penetration pricing, just to see how we do in the market. And hopefully, if it goes well, we can increase our price. So now, in one unit, you do get 3 chargers. And we can get one charger for about $2.04 from our manufacturer off a website called Global Sources. And then we're also getting bags, business cards, and stickers, and we can get those in bulk for very cheap off of basic websites called Uline and like Office Depot. But then also something that is more pricey is our shipping, because we do have to pay for the bubbled envelopes because it is a battery. And we can get those for $4.20, also off of Uline.com. And we can get all these in bulk. Our total cost comes to $10.56. And if you take our $13.99 and you subtract our $10.56, we get our gross profit of 24.5%. Now Tommy will go into our MVP.
So the riskiest part of our minimum viable product is our customer segment. We know that teenagers want this product, and we know that business people want this product, but we've had conflicting reviews. So we know teenagers will come back because they'll need it when they're stuck in the city like Maddie was talking about, and business people will use it in preparation for further events or vacations. Now, the product risk that we have is we're not sure if we're going to get it in time. Since it is overseas, we're hoping to get everything by March 1st, but we're not sure if we'll actually be able to get it in time. Now, what we're actually going to do for our MVP is go to 2 events, the Barrington Dance Marathon on March 10th, sorry, and on April 8th, we'll be going to the Barrington Family Expo and be setting up booths. And we're going to distribute different units we're going to distribute them to the Barrington High School Dance Marathon. We're not going to sell them, but we're going to give feedback at the end of the event, and hopefully emails. And at the Barrington Family Expo, we're actually going to be selling them, hopefully a pack of 3, or sometimes just 1, just to see, test everything out. And what we're actually asking you guys for is $750. Now, if you're wondering where this is going, most of it's going to the actual units, which is going to cost us $415. Another bulky item is the Facebook advertising over the course of 4 months. It's going to cost us $150. And then stickers, 225 of them, that's going to cost us $85. That's next bulkiest item. And then other expenses like our website, the actual shipping, most of the COGS is $115. And we want all of how we're going to implement ourselves into the market is have everything done by March 1st. That includes our website, having the actual product, and getting to enough events to where we have enough exposure. And now on to Ashley.
So, based on research, the portable disposable charger market is supposed to go 23% from 2016 to 2020, which is $17.8 billion. So now the $750 we're asking you does not seem like that much money. And we really think with your help, we'll be able to make a huge impact in this market. Thank you.
That was a really good presentation. Let me make sure I understand it. You're going to be repurposing a product that you buy from China And this is really about a marketing campaign that you're going to sell to. So you're not there's no product development here or anything like that. And the product that you're buying in overseas, is it rechargeable?
No.
Okay, it's pre-charged, coming to you
Yes.
pre-charged? Okay, so if I was like a really geeky person, I could just buy this stuff myself and do it. But what you're bringing is distribution, marketing, convenience. You're gonna slap a sticker on this and you're going to send it out. Okay, I get it. That's all clarification. Now, one comment about what you may want to do with this. This seems to be a really good product for the promotions industry. I don't know if you know what that is, but every company usually has little things they give away to people, like at trade shows or to their customers, or leave behinds when they go out on sales calls, or
With their logo on it or something.
with their logo on it. And this has an interesting campaign like Rescue Me, Power Me, Save Me, or something that could be branded like on your, I don't know what who that would appeal to, but a lot of companies are in the business of rescuing and saving and powering, and like a kind of a cool little campaign that they can put on a sticker that they can give that to their customers. Now, whether they would pay $5 each is another story. And you just literally just toss these when you're done. You get one and done, right? One charge.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, so it's a $5. It's expensive, but when you're in a crisis, it's not very expensive, assuming you have one, I guess.
Yeah, that's the issue. I'd like to see the MVP more focused on validating that this is the right product for the right audience, the right target segment. Because the teenagers, that means they have to plan and buy this ahead of time and have it with them. And I guess the question I have is, why wouldn't you have your cord then, kind of thing? I mean, it's like, the problem is they run out of juice because they didn't bring their cord or their portable battery. I mean, you can get portable batteries and stuff. There's a lot of other solutions. So I don't understand the value proposition of this. I also wondered how heavy is it to carry around, and then throwing it away, it sounds like there's a recyclable environmental kind of thing. It just doesn't feel like the kind of thing that you would just toss in the garbage. It feels like it should be recycled. And so I really want to validate the need and the price point. I mean, $5 in an emergency, yeah, I get it, if you really need it, but how, you have to then have the product at that point, predict that point. So I just don't know if that's really going to be a market to buy these at $5 a pop.
And it would probably make sense that it's business people
Yeah.
versus teenagers.
The promotional industry is a really good idea, so you can brand it. And like if you're at a trade show and you have to walk a half a mile to go find the charging stations, you might, if this was there, you might use it, but that's right at the point of need. But to remember to bring one, if you're a business person, you've already purchased a portable and pre-charged that's part of traveling. You bring your equipment and you pre-charge your stuff, and you have this slim little portable battery in your briefcase or purse. So I don't know about adding another one. That's why I like to see more about what your problem survey, what your surveys said when you did feedback from people.
Did you get any recycling
Yeah.
feedback?
Yeah, did you?
And any of the, we throw these away? Anybody, offer that might be a problem?
Compared to what our competitors do is they say dispose properly, which would mean going to a battery store and throwing it away. We were considering having an option where you could send it back to us, and that's something we'd look into, but it would just be too expensive at this point to do that.
And you can't recharge them or repurpose them, so.
Can we talk about the size?
The size and weight of it?
Oh, it's really light, so you can use your phone while it's charging.
Could you, what does that mean, really light?
I don't know exactly.
How big are they?
Yeah, how big are they?
Like 1 by 1, 1.5 by.
So they're little squares.
They're
Yeah,
little
the little
squares, yeah.
squares that you
And have you gotten any yet?
Yes, we did, but we dismantled it to see what it was about.
Okay, how long did it take to charge your phone?
So I actually plugged it in my phone, and I was at 20%, and I plugged it in. And then I kept going throughout the day, and then the following hour, so it was like 8th hour, because I plugged in the 7th hour, my phone like started a thing where it was like charge, not charge, charge, not charge. So I took it out, and just the charge went away completely.
That's
like everything that, and it went from 20 to 60.
And you can, like, if I ran out of my battery, I can put it there and I can talk.
Yes.
It's not like this big chunky
No.
thing.
No.
And how thin is it? It's thinner, is it
It's
thinner
like-
than my phone?
It's like
Same
same.
size as your
Same.
phone. So
Okay,
it
it's
just
just a little connector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now the recycling thing, it looked much
Yeah,
bigger
what
on
you're,
there.
yeah, it looks,
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah,
it
like
looks
next to
like,
a phone, it would-
Yeah.
it looks like a normal charger size, you know,
No,
like
it's-
a adapter for a.
See, this is, it's funny, people will pay an obnoxious amount of money for, I call it medicine versus vitamins. Like vitamins, you don't pay much for because you take them every day and it's just part of your routine. Medicine, when you have a headache, you pay a lot for it. You think it costs a lot? It costs a little bit of money to make that same thing a vitamin as it is medicine. So the value-based pricing of medicine, significantly more than vitamins. Costs the same to make it, but the market will pay a lot for an aspirin when you have a headache. And this is an aspirin type solution. If you could figure out a way just to say, you know, I really like this idea of a giveaway where it's like, carry this in your bag just in case. Store these away, you know, for emergency only, you know, like, and that's not a teenager. That is a business person. And a company will pay for it because a company is going to care about the statement it's saying to the person they want it to give away. Remember us, and when you have a time of need. Like, I'm your guy to help. That branding, well, your product represents a solution that they want to mimic in their own brand. So it has brand alignment, and you can you put your heads together and think about what companies would like that. And then all your stickers is simple because you can custom brand it.
Yeah.
And so you can go to, now the cost is a little bit pricey, but did you figure out how to buy it in bulk where you can get it even cheaper?
Well, this one we get 200 of them.
Like what if you bought 2 million of them? I'm just using
Oh.
ridiculous.
That would be a lot.
You don't have to
It always works.
No, but what if you bought like 2,000 of them? Did you research where you can get some price breaks?
Well, if we bought like a bigger amount, we would get them for a lot cheaper. But right now, since we're starting around 200 units, it's gonna.
So if you're going to shift, which we're recommending you shift, but you can try this out. You can have part of your MVP can go to students and part of it can go to business people. You're getting 200 of them. And with your business people, you're not selling one, you're selling dozens. And with your high school kids, you're selling one. Companies want dozens of these.
Yeah.
And then the third market could be business travelers, which buy one. So we're kind of saying a B2B play with students, a B2C play with students, a B2C play with business people, and try to reach out to companies and say, hey, if we had this promotional gig, you know, would you buy a bunch of them? But you're selling them in bulk. And you can give them different price points based upon your discounts.
Yeah.
Do you have a tab on?
A tagline? Just like on the spot charging when you need it most.
Yeah, I was thinking, because I think you need to, I like where Michael's going. I think you need to validate, you're asking people to pay something for, like medicine when they aren't sick. That's the problem.
Yeah,
You
something
know, and
now
so you have
versus-
to know, oh, well, when I need it, I would pay for it, but you're asking people to plan, and people by nature don't do that. So I think your marketing campaign message needs to be more like, what's your time worth? Is your time worth $5? You know, for $5 you'll never be stranded. You need to focus on them imagining them in that position and their time's worth that.
Avoiding pain.
So
Yeah.
that's
What's the
kind
price
of
you pay if you don't have it?
Yeah.
yeah, so, because you're selling insurance, basically. They're not sick, and they're telling them to buy the medicine now. And, you know, and that's what your marketing message has got to be.
One thing that you all have talked about is the need at large venues, at the concerts that you guys go to. So somebody like, if you wanted to sell a bunch to Rosemont or the promotional companies, that's a segment that these guys are talking about. The other thing is football games, or, big, the Olympics.
Yeah, where do you go where there's no power?
Exactly.
That's like hikers.
Right.
You're not using power in the woods, I guess.
Yeah, for business people, it's notorious at a trade show or any kind of conference. There's only a few plugs in the wall anywhere, and it's, I'm stuck. I'm ducking out of a meeting. I've got to make a call, and my phone's dead.
And a cool little thing that you could do is in an airport where you see all these people trying to steal the power from the airport that are just trying to desperately catch a flight. Is to just do literally walking around. Would you like to buy this for $5? Here's a little thing you can take with you. You don't have to sit on the floor.
It's at the point of.
Like literally, you can have like people just walking around and boom, 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 and selling them that way. Okay, your MVP. You're asking for $750 for 200. The beautiful thing is if you sell all 200 and you sell some for $4 because they buy 3 packs, or I guess your average price would be more like $4.50 or $5 per unit. Let's just call it $5 because I can do that math easy. That 200 will convert to $1,000, right? So you'll be able to pass back.
Yeah.
Or you'll have a bunch of these deals that, can you give us the medicine at least? If you don't
Yeah.
sell them all, you can have the
Slide a few
inventory.
Donate them to the,
Yeah,
To the needy.
because if you're going to have 200 of these, you're not planning on giving them away, are you?
Well, I think for Dance Marathon, we're gonna need to because it is like a charity event, so like asking people to pay for something that's not towards the cause. But that would only be a few, like we're just gonna test.
How about you do this? How about you charge them and I'm sorry, Nick.
What if you donate a percentage of your profits to
There you go.
charity?
Yeah, so we could do that too.
Yeah, buy these,
But you
$2
sell them.
goes to charity. Yeah, you gotta prove that somebody bought it.
yeah.
And I don't even
And
like, the
price
charity
point.
thing is one way to do it, because now you're
But-
proving that they give money to the charity.
Yeah, right, you're not validating your product and your price point and a charity.
We don't, I'm just imagining us being here in May, and you guys up asking for $10,000 or $20,000, whatever the number is. I would feel a lot more comfortable if you said, we sold 200, and people bought them for $5, and they didn't buy them because they wanted to give $5 to charity, and we didn't give them away, they really bought them.
Yeah.
And understand who bought them, what market who was the target market for it, who actually found value. And then,
So we'll give you $750 if you promise us not to give them away, not to go to a charity and validate that people would give $5 to the charity. Oh, well, I'll give them $5. Now maybe, well, that might be a cool little giveaway to charity, by the way. Like, go to the charity and say, here's a way to raise money.
Get 'em out.
Here's a simple way to sell, forget about raffle
Effort.
tickets.
There's-
That's true.
There's the promotion thing.
I mean, there might be a product market fit there.
but I think that's taking them off the focus of the MVP.
Yeah, so what we're after, in order to do this right, you know when we talked about customer segmentation earlier in the year? This is a perfect example where you should have 20 different potential market segments. Hikers, I mean really niche ones, not like high school kids in America, that's like too big. Hikers, charities, companies, people going to concerts, whatever. Have 20 of them
Yeah.
and figure out which 3 or 5 in your MVP you want to prove out that you just think from your surveys would have the best chance of succeeding, and then go that direction.
And I think your Facebook and Instagram isn't really gonna drive sales, because right now you need to drive sales because you have actual product. It's hard to buy on Instagram, it's hard to track it to Instagram, and I'm not sure Facebook is the audience for teenagers or for businessmen, actually. Business people tend to keep Facebook as personal, and so I think you wanna look at where you're marketing, the message you're doing and where you're doing it.
Go back to your cost of goods sold. If you want to get minimum on your minimum viable product, what you could do is eliminate the shipping altogether and just sell these by good old fashioned,
Yeah.
I got them, you want to buy them? Don't order them, I don't have to ship them. And you can prove a lot. And we believe that you can ship this stuff, all right?
Exactly.
We don't need validation that people can have this sent to them. We need validation that they can buy them. And by the way, you'll make a lot more money if you just sell them, because your cost of goods sold will go down to $612 from $1056. You might need a little bit of packaging, because you want to put them in. You want these things to look good.
And
Yeah.
you need-
This is a branding thing too. Don't
You
just.
need your URL on your package, your sticker. Don't forget that, so they know
Yeah.
where to go to buy more.
Yeah.
But that little guy, are those batteries next to it? In that bag?
No, that was just, it's like glue sticks, just to show the size of the bag.
Glue
That
sticks?
was like the
Yeah, because if
packaging.
this is to scale, what are these guys, business cards?
Yeah,
Like if this is to scale, this looks like it's bigger than a business card.
yeah.
Are they not to
No,
scale?
they're not to scale.
Yeah, see, those pictures, what you're showing us was really hard to understand.
Yeah.
The product was not clear, to be honest, so I think if you had brought one to
Have like a
show,
credit
or,
card next to it or something like that.
yeah, or something that kind of, and then the lesson learned from that is that if we couldn't figure it out, we have a nice, quiet, intimate group here, you have to be able to describe the product properly to someone, you know, that's looking at the website or on an ad or at a demo.
In fact, in your unique value proposition, you had three things. One was disposable, one was pre-charged, and the other was something. Size should be one of those. It's small,
And it is convenient to have it be part of the phone like that. That is a change. I just grabbed this out of my pocket because I travel with it as my safety.
It sure
This
is.
plugs in and recharges, but it's got a cord with
and
it.
you literally carry that around in your
What
pocket.
a nerd, huh? But
Oh,
anyway,
well, there's customers. Yes,
bring it
yes,
on.
yes.
I'm your target market.
Will it fit in a wallet?
But
You sold
know,
one.
the
So
thing-
that's what you need to market, is that you can
Oh,
put it in a
giveaway.
wallet.
Really, it like should be like half the size of a credit card, would you say?
It sounds like, you know that candy, Mary Jane's, the peanut butter things? Oh, wrong generation.
It's a classic.
Oh, it's a classic, like Clark bars. In any
Now I'm
case,
hungry.
yeah, just figure out the size, and that would be really.
So you probably like Zagat's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so back to your deal. If we reduce how much of your MVP is around bags, business cards, and shipping material?
112.
Yeah.
Let's eliminate that. Or if you want to keep 750, buy more chargers.
Okay.
But I don't know if you need more than 200. If you can
I'm
prove that you
concerned
sold,
you're not gonna, about selling that many.
Yeah.
how many do you have to order to get the price discount?
100.
Yeah.
100 your minimum order?
Yeah.
And then probably,
So why, and how long is it, oh, you don't know, that's the risk.
Yeah, that's
How
the
long
risk.
it's gonna take to
That's
get
the
here?
No, they did respond. They said about 10 business days.
And your goal is March 1st, and today's the 13th.
10 days. All right.
Don't order more.
You wanna
Make-
do,
get
you
'em
wanna
in,
do,
make sure
you
they
guys
know
gonna
that
sell
they're-
200?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, you know, like, we want you to sign up for enough that, like, what would be a disaster is if you said, hey, we sold 100 and we bought 200. What would be cool is if you sold 100 and you said we sold out. Like, we had 100 and we sold them all.
Yeah.
We had 200 and we sold half. It's a very different statement that you're telling to the investors, right? So buy as many as you're gonna sell. 500? We want you to sell a ton of them. Okay, so don't get us wrong, we just want you to get it right on the amount.
Okay.
Part of it depends on how many target markets you're gonna address.
20's the goal. I wrote it down.
Well, 20 is, I would start with 20 and I would do a short list.
Like five.
Yeah.
See what
To
the-
like really focus on.
It wouldn't be how much time do we have?
You guys got another
We're just
15 minutes with them. This is your lunch.
So this is, every good like consultant does a thing called a 2x2 matrix.
Oh, yeah.
You guys will see this. Let's say you have 20 segments. And let's see, how can we measure the likelihood? On this axis, we will put low and high, and this will do low and high. And this might be the people that we think are going to pay a higher price. Some are going to pay low price, some are going to pay high price. So we think just intuitively, like you got feedback from us, and this is how you're going to have to work with intuition or surveys. High school kids, oh, low. What do we want to do in this exit?
The likelihood of a sale?
Yeah, that they're going to present, they will buy. So this might be high school kids. Low percent that they're going to buy and low price, and if they do, it's going to be at a low price. Maybe another segment is, hey, we do think business people will pay a high price, but we also think that they might be a low percentage of buyers. But if we were there, because they're hard to maybe identify. So they might be a high price, but a low percentage to buy. Maybe hikers, or maybe, I mean, you're going to have to plot your 20 here.
Monty Bauer will be in the top right
What you're
corner.
going to want to do, yeah, guys that carry this stuff in the pocket.
That's a segment.
You're floating around.
Guys that carry this in their pocket.
Top right corner.
The percent that they're going to buy this.
Who would have thought I become the topic? Carry on. For bots.
But this is the bot. You're going to want to go with people that have a higher percent to buy and want to pay you the most. So whoever falls in that category. And then that would be your first choice. Your second choice will go here. You'll never go here. Just say no.
And
Because
remember
why go low and low?
when we taught persona, when you have to really understand, if you then figured out who that upper quadrant target audience is, then really think through where do they live, what do they buy, who influences them. And then that will help you drive to get the right message to the right point, you know, to them in the right place. Most likely that they'll get your message.
Yes.
So, yeah, then that's where that kicks in.
What's your sticker look like so far?
Just that.
You're gonna add the URL, right?
Yeah, well, we have to.
It's, to me, it's a good name, okay, but what it does is it tells me about functionality. I like something that expresses emotion here. Like this is,
Power now.
Charge rescue pod.
it's, you know, like it says aspirin to me. It doesn't say relief. I mean, I want it to be emotional. Like think about it to be a fun name, like
Charge me
I
up.
don't even know what the fun name would
Rolling
be, but
Stones.
you guys will come up with one. Try to come up with it just to be a little bit more, this is an emotional buy. This is a point of purchase. This is like, I gotta have it, because I don't know when, but at some point in time I'm gonna need this, and I'm gonna stash it
Think of all
away.
the things that upper quadrant would say when they hit that moment, and they go, oh my God, I'm dead in the water. I'm you know, I mean, call it dead in the water, you know, or something. I'm just saying, so think about that person and what they're feeling in that moment when I would pay anything to be able to just be immediate to continue this phone call. You know, what are they saying? What are they? Those are the words that will.
And you know what, when we were leaning in on your presentation, when you were telling the story about the dad and the baby,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where you identify with this, okay? So make the brand identify with it, like, and
Yeah, it's simple and clean. That's a simple, clean, modern name and logo. That is not your brand. Your brand is, you know, about instant, now, solving an immediate problem. Rescue is a great word, you know. Instant relief, you know, that kind of. But it's more about the powerful, emotional stuff. Yeah, and it's a disposable product. It's not a clean, modern product. I mean, who cares what the technology is? It's about what it does.
Are you guys familiar with the company Square? It's a little thing just like this that goes on the end of your phone, and it allows a retailer to swipe the thing. The name of the company is called Square. It's a perfect example of they went to what they described that, hey, this is just Square, we want to be known as Kleenex, we want to be known as Square. It's not, they didn't put like automatic, register or, cash register, or payment processing.
Point of sale, yeah.
Yeah, portable point of sale processing system.
You can't write it on the product.
Payment
it's too long.
processing queue.
Now the name of the company could be PowerPad. PowerPod.
Or PowerPad.
Or Pad Pod.
Stay on
But
it.
the pod, the thing is, I think because you have pod and you're showing a classic pod charger, wall charger, that was throwing me off. That's why I was convinced that was what it is.
It's
And I
a
was trying to
lot
understand-
thinner than,
Yeah,
I know it looks thin.
But the thinner thing is not look like a pod, so why would you call it a pod if I'm imagining what you're describing?
Wait for it.
It's a chip, it's a,
It's one time, it's micro, it's
yeah.
one and done.
Yeah.
It's like
Save
something
that.
that you need to just really do some brainstorming with, and you have a great mentor to help you do that. It's
I
like,
have my list. Not doing your own work, but.
and you know what?
That's right.
Name generation is hard, but
Yes.
when it clicks, you're gonna go, found it, love it, got it. It's like, it just will happen. You'll get frustrated, you'll like, oh, stupid, brainstorm, boom, and you'll figure it out. But it'll take 1,000 names to go through. So,
So is it 750?
we're gonna cut out the packaging, didn't we?
So 500 or
And I don't think you
650?
need business cards, guys.
Yeah.
Really? Nobody carries those anymore.
So we're talking 650?
Whatever the number was that stripped away the bag, the business cards, and the shop.
750
shipping
minus
material.
112,
And then,
right?
that's the most we'll give unless you guys want to buy less. But we have no problem with getting 200, just sell them all. In fact, we want you to buy as many as you possibly can. What would be the greatest story? You know how we said selling half is not a good story, selling all is a good story? You know what a great story is? We ordered more and sold those too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Think about it.
So let's go with 650, even number.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Good
All right.
job.